With us today, it's Josh and Jilly and Luther, and well, we're just tickled pink to have you here on the Josh Ennis Show. Everything's reporting down there, good. Jilly is here in her new hat. We can barely see her face. Your eyes are dark.
Good.
I guess that was part of your plan.
Yes, I didn't want to put makeup on.
So you're wearing this hat you ordered from Puma for $5?
Yep.
So there you go. That's good news. So you're set there. Luther is here. He went to get his massage today. Tomorrow he's going back to the chiropractor, which is good.
Hopefully for the last time. I'm prepared, though, for them to be like, well, you should probably bring them in 3 times again next week.
Well, I mean, they want that money.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm prepared for that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll
I
see
think
what
he's doing
happens.
better, though.
Oh, I think he's been doing great. And and I'm not just saying that because Dr. Busby's wonderful and because Dr. Busby is a sponsor of the show, but I do believe this. We had Luther he had stopped taking the Dr. Busby for a little bit just because he was taking some different pain meds.
Between the pain meds and the liver meds and it was a lot.
So we took a break from Dr. Busby for a little bit. Luther's been back on Dr. Busby, and he's actually taking the proper dose right now. Before, he was only taking 1 Dr. Busby, but that's for dogs up to like 25 pounds. Luther is 31, 32 pounds sometimes, depending on how much water he's had that day. So we put him on 2 Dr. Busbys, and man, the last 4 days now that he's been taking these regularly in the morning now again, bam! It's crushing. So we're happy about that. We're thrilled that Luther's doing better. He seems to be healing. So going to the chiropractor tomorrow. But Dr. Busby, we appreciate you. You're an awesome Dr. Busby. You're an angel, Dr. Busby. And your Dr. Busby Encore Mobility that Luther has been taking, well, he's just going to keep taking it. And if your dogs are having a hard time getting around, what are you looking at?
I was making sure that didn't shut down.
Fine.
I know my computer likes to go from 100 to 0 real quick.
Well, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
But the Dr. Busby Encore Mobility, you can get it on the website, toegrips.com. It's helping so many dogs who are dealing with hip and joint issues. It promotes hip and joint flexibility, restores mobility and comfort, and renews vigor and vitality. So we urge you to check out Dr. Busby. She does awesome stuff, and this Encore Mobility is fantastic. Toe grips are fantastic if you have dogs that have a hard time getting around on wood floors, but they are capable of getting around on rugs or carpet or grass. It could be because of age, arthritis, injury, surgery, or a disability, but if your dog is having that problem, toe grips could be for you, and you can get those at toegrips.com, toegrips.com.
And the nail trimming kit.
Now, and the blog. And all of it.
I think people hate taking their dogs to get their nails trimmed. And
Absolutely.
It's a very useful thing if you can learn how to do it. And Dr. Busby says it's so easy.
I think you're right. So you can check all that out at toegrips.com, and you can use the promo code Luther, L-U-T-H-E-R, Luther, L-U-T-H-E-R, get you 10% off, and it's a 30-day money-back guarantee with Dr. Busby. So go to toegrips.com. Check them out, toegrips.com. We love them, and we love Dr. Busby. We were watching baseball.
Weird.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's not really strange for me without the fans, though. Like, I really don't notice that much of a difference.
No, that does. But there's just the whole thing is just kind of screwy. Like the anthem, for instance, they're playing the national anthem. Nobody's in there except the players. They still have the PA announcer. Fauci threw out the first pitch. Oh God, the Fauci throwing out the first pitch was strong. Strong first pitch being thrown out by the old man, huh?
If this is like an indication of like where we are with fighting coronavirus, we're screwed.
So let me put this up here for the people. I'm sure most people have seen it, but let me put this up here for all to see. So if you're watching the Twitch right now, you can see this. That's Fauci's first pitch as we look at the video now. I don't understand how a grown-ass man, and I understand he's an older grown-ass man, I don't understand how a grown-ass man, a grown-ass woman, a kid in a wheelchair, a person with no arms, I don't understand how anybody can throw a first pitch that bad. It's not that hard to throw a baseball. You know, it amazes me that somebody is somehow in charge, really, of the safety of our entire country right now, and the person can't throw a baseball 60 feet in a line.
Well, that's what they were saying on the broadcast. Like, well, maybe, he was just so busy trying to protect the country. He couldn't practice.
Oh, yeah, okay. Guess what? Dude just can't throw a damn baseball, and it ain't that hard. Like, I know what you're saying. Josh, you've never thrown out the first pitch at a Major League Baseball game. Really, Dr. Fauci hasn't either. That's not a Major League Baseball game. There's not 45,000 people like there would be on opening day. It's like literally playing catch in a park. No one's there. There were more people when I threw out the first pitch at the Wilmington Blue Rocks game.
There were
more people at that game.
Well, that
There's
was a big
nobody
one.
in attendance here. How do you do this? It's baffling to me that a grown-ass man can't deliver. Just he'll lob it up there. The worst thing you can do is bounce it. The worst thing you can do is throw it 15 feet from home plate, which he has done. It's dreadful. It can't be that difficult. Like, it annoys me that a grown man just can't lob a ball to a catcher and have a first pitch.
Well, this should be good because I believe Trump is going to throw out a first pitch.
It will be better.
In
it has
August.
To be.
It's going to be at Yankee Stadium. And already now after watching this, Trump is like, let's go.
Yeah, he's like, I want to throw it out tomorrow. Oh,
he
enjoyed
super
the hell
competitive.
out of it.
He's probably already out back in the White House throwing balls or something.
Oh, absolutely.
He's getting ready. He's going to,
Actually, he doesn't need to practice because in his mind, he's probably already the best pitcher. Or what we might have.
Well, we know that's Mariano Rivera.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe Rivera. That's why Rivera was there. Nobody knows why Mariano Rivera was at the White House.
You're right.
He was there to help him throw. He's like, let me tell you something, Mariano. I got to throw out the first pitch on
totally
the 15th
right.
of August. I need to know what I'm doing. You're a great pitcher. You're a fantastic. I was listening to that today on the way home, and he's like, let me tell you, the first lady was like, why do they call him the Sandman?
Darling.
Darling, why do they call him the Sandman? That's because he puts the batters to sleep, darling.
And they play the song, I love the explanation.
Oh, God.
But he was on fire yesterday.
Oh, well, Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, God, we're going to play that in a second here. But this Fauci first pitch is just, I can't get enough of it. Like, I'm amazed. Now, again, he's an older dude. But, when 50 Cent throws out the first pitch and it hits the mascot, how does that happen? How does Baba Booey just airmail? And those guys at least threw a first pitch in front of a crowd. This isn't even in front of a crowd. This is just grown-ass men with grown-ass men, nobody in the stands. Yes, the TV is on, but this dude's on TV every damn day, or at least he was on TV every damn day, talking about the damn Rona.
Well, as you've referenced before, when W threw out the first pitch after the 9/11 thing, and everyone was like, yeah, and it brought everybody together.
This did the opposite.
This is oh, boy, the Rona's going to kill us all.
Oh, God, yeah. This would explain why our country has just been shit on by the Rona.
Symbolic of the Rona.
It kind of is. You know what, though? I really want Trump to go out there and just throw just a dart, just right down central, man.
Although, do you think Trump do you think he'll do it off the mound? He seems like the type.
He's got to. He's got it. Now, Fauci was standing on the front part of the mound, but he wasn't standing on the slab. Right. I don't think, no, Trump's going to do whatever he can to make sure it's not worse than Fauci. I don't think Trump stands on, I don't think he stands on the bump. I don't think he stands on top of the mound. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm leaning towards no on this one.
He's got the Sandman working with him, so
I
who knows?
understand that, and he also knows now. Does it benefit him or does it hurt him that he now knows that Fauci has thrown out this god awful first pitch? That's an important question, right?
Well, I think we need to check if he's tweeted about it yet, because this seems like something that Trump would retweet.
But it also seems like something that if he had, it would be trending by now, right? But for instance, the question I'm asking is, so now that he's seen that Fauci stinks, does he let down his guard a little bit and maybe not be as locked in when he throws his first pitch? Because if Fauci would have gone up there and thrown a George W. Bush dart right down central, then maybe Trump takes it a little bit more serious. But you can't do much worse than Fauci. And did anybody have any other anticipation other than Fauci was going to be dreadful? Did anybody have any reason to believe that Fauci was going to go up there and deliver a strike? I didn't. I mean, listen, that was as off as his initial predictions on the Rona, which were the country is not going to be impacted by the Rona and that masks don't matter, right? So, I mean, it couldn't be any worse.
Boy, you're not going to believe this.
What?
We've already got Astros fans trying to prove that the Yankees are cheating.
Oh, boy, what a time. If this is what baseball in 2020 is, I want no part of baseball in 2020.
I believe there's a difference from a guy that's on second kind of signaling a pitch. It's a little different than, recording and cameras everywhere.
It is.
But you can see that Judge was tipping off Stanton to the pitch before the home run, and now the Astros fans are like, oh, boy.
Hold on. Let's see. Jeez, some of these guys, bless their hearts. We got some real dumb people that like
They're
sports.
trying.
They're trying real hard. Like, just let it go. Like, you sound bitter. Let's see. In what way is he tipping him off?
He's like, moves his hand. Oh,
he
boy.
moved his hand like 1 foot to like he goes like this. He could very well just be faking going back. He ain't and even if he is, that's baseball. Baseball isn't beating the shit out of garbage cans and shit to try to tip off a pitch. God, like every time I step up here and I defend the Astros people and I say, screw all the other people, you won the World Series. Then Astros Twitter has to come back and keep going petty, petty, petty. Get over it.
And again, it's not all Astros fans. It's mostly the Twitter Astros fans.
That's what I'm saying. Astros Twitter's the worst. Basically, every team's Twitter is the worst.
Yeah.
Every team's Twitter is the worst. God,
also, I guess the expanded postseason is now a done deal as the owners are now on board as well.
Oh, God, that's all. They really, to me, that stinks. I like the idea of the 60-game season. I'm excited for it because every game was going to matter. Now none of it matters because now 16 damn teams. Congratulations, baseball. You're now the NBA regular season. So, like this game tonight, that didn't mean a damn thing. They had a chance to create urgency with this. They had a chance to create an urgency where, wow, every game matters. Now 16 damn teams make the playoffs.
Are they going to do the thing? Remember they were talking about it where it's like, oh, if you're the highest record, you get to pick who you want to play?
They might. And if that's
thing?
the case, that'll at least be somewhat interesting, right? Because it shows people being petty.
Right.
And, and it can add some motivation. That part of it's cool. But the idea that 16 teams make it, these 60 games mean nothing. Because, listen, there's probably, now basically every team is going to be in the pennant race down to the stretch. So, none of the games matter.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
I don't like it at all. They missed it. Baseball had me all interested. Baseball had me all verklempt. I was ready to go. I was all worked up. And then I saw Fauci throw out the damn first pitch, and now baseball's going to have 16 damn playoff teams.
That's
like this
too
is the
much.
NBA. Ugh.
So all first-round games will be a part of a best-of-3 series, according to this report.
For all teams.
All first-round games. Now, I guess there's going to be a couple that would get a bye, right?
I don't know. Would there? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, you would think they should.
Maybe not.
If you've heard, and if that's the case, that's lame as hell too. Say you win this dopey 60-game season, you don't get a bye. You have to play a 3-game series. So really, there's no advantage in having a bet other than playing it.
So it says all 8 second-place teams. So every division, second-place team will qualify for the 16-team playoff format. The 7th and 8th teams will be chosen by the best record among other teams. Teams will then be seeded 1 through 8 based on the 2020 season record.
And then they have to play a first-round series no matter what. So there's
Even
no real benefit.
if you win your division, but another division's really crappy, they'd be, no, right? Because
I have no goddamn clue. It's annoying to me. The whole damn thing is now annoying to me. You should have just played a 60-game season and have 8 or was it 10 teams or whatever it is that make the playoffs, and there you go.
Yeah,
there's too many damn teams that make the playoffs now. I get it. It's a special occasion, so I get it. But what's going to happen is somehow it's going to have some success, and then before you know it, baseball's going to be just like every other damn sport, and 16 teams are going to make the playoffs, just like the hockey regular season's irrelevant and the NBA regular season is irrelevant. Baseball's already damn near irrelevant.
But we get a televised postseason seeding show, guys.
So that's what I'm saying. That's the fun part, I guess, because maybe when they pick it. But outside of that...
But they milk that so much. But they're not going to pick teams now. You're just seeded 1 through 8.
Oh, okay.
And it's based on records. So say you...
But there's no division. So basically it's like there's 30 teams in baseball.
Yeah.
There's still an American and a National League.
Yes, but after that, it's all just 1 through 8.
So the top 8 teams in the National League record-wise and the top 8 teams in the American League.
Probably, but it'll be all the first and second place teams and then the 7th and 8th
so they
spot.
still are going by divisions then.
Yeah, until the playoffs start, and then it's just 1 through 8.
This is stupid. It's too confusing.
First round
it's
of the
convoluted.
playoffs.
I need no part of it.
And each league will be 4 3-game series, with all games played at the higher seed's home stadium. So you don't get a home game, basically, if you're a lower seed.
It still stinks.
This is really...
That's too many teams. It ruined this. The idea of a 60-game regular season was fun because every game might matter. Now you've basically just turned it into a normal season of baseball where none of the regular season games matter.
Then the 2-division series will still be 5 games, and the AL and NL Championship and World Series will be 7 games.
How about if you're the 8th seed, Fauci has to be your closer? Could we do that?
That'd be fun.
Yep. It's listen, here's the thing. Here's your incentive. You got to give teams incentive to want to finish higher. So maybe number 1. And by the way, they're not going to be playing in front of fans. At least as of right now, they're not going to be.
Right, so does the home field really matter?
You get to bat last. That's what it means. That's it. But you don't have some crowd behind you. But no, Fauci has to be your closer. If you do not finish number 1 and you're down at the number 8 spot in your league, Fauci has to be yours, and then Baba Booey will be your the closer for the 8th seed in the other league.
I also think this Fox broadcast putting in virtual fans is stupid.
I do too.
And why do they have to do the wave?
And you know what, though? Here's why I think Fox is doing that. Because Fox sees that nobody wants to watch their crappy wrestling show with no fans.
Oh, maybe.
Right? Like, I bet that's part of it. Because they see that with no fans on wrestling, the interaction is kind of what makes it fun.
Well, they should just do that for wrestling. Put some virtual fans in there.
I bet you it costs a shitload of money. So I don't know that there's got to be some big cost involved in that. And there's got to be a reason why they're not. But the whole thing is weird. And we damn near bet on this game tonight. I put a couple $100 in the account on mybookie.ag.
You tried.
And I didn't get in time because one card wasn't accepted because for whatever reason, my Visa's never accepted on these damn sites. So I had to use a credit card instead of a debit. So as it stands now, we did not get in for the over 7.5 in this game. And last we saw, there had already been 4 runs
3-1 at the end of the 4th.
There's 4 runs scored already. So
we could bet on the Giants and Dodgers.
Well, Kershaw's out, so you'd think maybe some runs might be scored. A guy's making his debut, right?
Yep, something called Dustin May.
Well, then Dustin May, hello, friend. Maybe I need you to give up a lot of runs.
He looks like he's ginger with some crazy red hair here. What a mane on this fella.
So maybe that's our guy.
And
maybe
then Johnny Cueto, who still may be upset over the death of his horse. We don't know.
Or his dad, who I think died recently, too.
See, that's a lot.
Yeah, so you know what? I think we're going to get a lot of runs. Maybe our first bet of the year will be an over. But here's what we got to do. We got to get your little notebook or get some notebook downstairs, and we got to keep a log of how much we bet, what game we bet. Because, like, we're going to try. I don't want to sit here and just bet on 1,000 games just to do it. I want to find games that we legitimately like the odds on, whether it be hockey, baseball, basketball, whatever. But we got to keep a log of this, is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
We need a log. And if we're able to keep a log, I think we're in much better shape. So maybe that'll be the answer. So there you go. Fauci. What a man he is. Got out there with his mask and everything. He's fighting the courageous fight. Did you guys know that Fauci was one of the leading voices in helping AIDS research? And did you know that Fauci is the only man that can save the country? He's wearing his mask like he should. And then he goes out there and throws that first pitch.
That was something.
Like, a man there's no man that should do that. And really, there's no woman that should do that. Like, the more I watch it, it isn't that difficult to throw a baseball. Especially in front of nobody, and I know I keep harping on it. How does that happen? That can't happen. Even if you're on the mound, even if there's 100,000 people in a stadium, you lob it up. Everybody knows this when you throw a first pitch. You just don't bounce it. If it's wide, left or right, if it's outside, that's fine. But you got to get it there in the air. When I threw out that first pitch at the Wilmington Blue Rocks, I told myself, don't bounce it.
I think you told Mattress Mac that before he threw out one of his first pitches.
I did.
Too.
Just don't bounce it. But it's one thing, if you bounce it and it, say, ends up 2 feet in front of the catcher, that's one thing. When you bounce it and it doesn't even make it to the dirt, that dirt circle cutout, you don't even get it out of the grass. And not only do you not get it out of the grass, it's a third of the way up the first baseline.
Yeah.
How does a man do that? That can't be possible. Like, I find it hard to believe that a man could do that. I don't get it.
Now tell me, does that make any sense to you?
Like, holy shit. Whoa. Actually, Bill O'Brien had this to add when he saw it.
Holy smokes, John.
Whoa.
You suck too.
You suck too. Holy cow. And I can't wait for Trump's first pitch because you know it's in his mind. You know that he wants to just throw a dart.
Was it August 15th?
Let me tell you, August 15th is going to be the greatest day ever. Just waiting for Trump to throw out the first pitch. Is it at a Nationals game?
No, it's at the Yankees.
Oh, that would also explain why Mariano Rivera was there.
It's all making sense now.
God, I am in I can't get over this. I know I should be able to get over it. I should. But I'm watching Fauci, and I keep watching this damn video, and I'm baffled as to how a man can do this. Any man, that's the same, like 50 Cent. I thought black dudes were supposed to be great athletes. How the hell does 50 Cent throw one that... 50 Cent was worse than this. 50 Cent's probably the worst of all time.
Well, and 50 Cent's a muscular fella, so he really has no excuse.
I mean, it's throwing a baseball. It's pick up a ball, throw it. Pick up a ball, throw it. That's all.
If August 15th is accurate, he'll be throwing out the first pitch at the Red Sox-Yankees game.
Oh, that's a big crowd for that, baby. Now we're talking.
What crowd?
It's going down for real.
Well, TV crowd.
a good, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Now I'm excited.
Mark your calendars.
Oh, dear. I tell you, man. I'm baffled by this. Absolutely baffled at how a man is capable of throwing a ball that poorly. Now, you could talk about guys like Rick Ankiel, right? Like Rick Ankiel ended up losing his mind and, had the yips, and he's, that's one thing. This is one dude. All you have to do is throw the ball. Just throw it. Throw it. Just, you know what? Dr. Burks would have thrown a much better ball than that. Dr. Burks is not only the more trusted authority on infectious disease in this country, Dr. Burks would have no doubt delivered a much better pitch than that one.
Well, I think someone needs to have her throw out a first pitch. We need to see.
I want to see Dr. Burks and her weird fluffy scarves. I want to see it.
Someone make it happen.
That's all I want to see. Somebody make it happen where Dr. Burks goes out and throws the first pitch, and hers will be exponentially better than that. We are Team Burks around these parts. She can't be worse. There could be a kid, like these kids in the Shriners commercials couldn't be worse. Like in the Shriners commercials, like, hey, there's a kid in a wheelchair.
Yep.
Hey, there's a kid with like an arm that's up here in the Shriners commercial. The kid with his arm up here in the Shriners commercial would have thrown a better ball than Fauci did. Just would have gone up there and like that and would have, bam, been a better throw than Fauci. Right?
Yes, that is confirmed.
Thank you. Now, before we get into some other great things, including the greatest television ever.
You say that so much.
But this was the greatest television you've ever seen. Last night, Trump on Fox News was the greatest stretch of interview in the history of everything. I say it all the time. You know why I say that all the time? Because he outdoes himself every time. Every time you think, you know what? He can't top this. He cannot top it.
He does.
You hear the Kung Flu virus, and you're like, wait a second, the Kung Flu virus, what?
You don't hear them talking about COVID.
And you're like, he can't top himself. He can't do it.
COVID-19. That name gets further and further away from China, as opposed to calling it the Chinese virus. Kung Flu, the Chinese virus. Kung Flu, the Chinese virus. Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Calling it Kung Flu, the Chinese virus.
It's a shame that we don't get more Trump rallies due to the Rona.
Yeah.
They're all like tele-rallies now.
I don't like it. I want more. I want more.
know.
But the man tops himself every time. And last night when we're watching this, we rewound it 4 times. And I was texting people about it. I was texting Andy. Andy, did you see this? It's the most brilliant television ever.
Did he see it?
Oh, he did.
What did he think?
Neither one of us understand what the fuck Trump's doing, honestly. We're like, what are you doing? Like, what? This is like, you seem ridiculous. But we'll play that audio in a second. All right, now, before we get into anything else, though, I do have to tell you about some fine folks who make the podcast go. By the way, I was speaking with Jason from Prime One Consulting today. They're back on board.
Yes, they are.
And I even sent him some information about our 97.5 Twitch because they're selling that too because it's doing so well. He might get on board with that. I was talking with another guy. I got to give some love here really quick too to the guys over at Aqueduct Plumbing. They used to be on the 790 show.
That's Billy and Sister Mary.
That's Billy and his sister Mary. And I got to give credit to one of the salespeople, Michelle, over at 790, because I posted on my Facebook that I needed a plumber. And let me kill the bed here for a second. For whatever reason, people thought it was a bit. Like my dad, I said, I need a plumber. Can someone come over the house? I didn't specify why we need a plumber.
Everyone just thought it was because you pooped.
They're like,
the toilet.
you pooped. But my dad was just like, Josh, this is hysterical. I'm like, Dad, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. I just need a plumber because our sink keeps filling up, and I need to figure it out. But people thought I was joking and screwing around, which is not the case at all.
Yeah, no, we have to wake up probably every 2 hours tonight to go drain the sink with a cup.
Yes, so Billy, so Michelle from 790, who's wonderful, I never had a problem with her, she posts Billy's number, which I already had, but she said, Billy said, shoot him a text and they'll come over. So Aqueduct Plumbing here in Houston, if you need plumbing, you need to get your plumbing done, right? If you need to get some work done on your plumbing, if you need it, go on and find them, Aqueduct Plumbing. They're great, and they're going to come over tomorrow and make sure our pipes are working. They're going to clean Jilly's pipes is what they're going to do. So, well, it's in your sink, so it's your pipes.
Well, sorry that I have the sink that has the main line of the water.
But they're going to come over. But if you can give them some support, do that. And who knows, they may join the party on here. I was talking with him about it. He didn't even know we were doing the podcast. So potentially another person that could jump on the podcast, too, is Billy with Aqueduct. So we appreciate them for all of your plumbing needs. All right, now, here we go. Boom. All right, now, who do I tell them about, Jilly?
Now we tell them about concrete chemistry.
Concrete chemistry. They are in the business of concrete. That's right, concrete. Fancy, shiny, beautiful concrete. The kind that you see in, like, stores and stuff. Not like your driveway, which is nothing wrong with driveway concrete or basketball court concrete or just your everyday, garden variety concrete. But concrete chemistry does that good shiny kind, that resinous, polished concrete, those floor systems for commercial, industrial, and institutional applications. They design and install resinous and polished concrete floor systems, and they do it extremely well. By the way, thank you, Pinche Pancho Villa, for posting that info for Aqueduct. You rule.
He's on it. He's always on it.
He's the man. We appreciate that. Or he? I don't know. I don't know what bird pronoun. But concrete chemistry. It's our friend Eric. Let me post that on the screen here so you guys can see some of this awesome stuff they do over here. Let me show you an example. Where it is. Look at those floors. I see one. There's one on an airplane hangar. You've got some in like retail stores. Some people even have these installed in their houses. We told you about how one of our Gamma, who you know from Harbor Classic Builders, Gamma said that they had someone who wanted to install that type of floor in their home, and bam, Concrete Chemistry was able to get the job done for them. So that's awesome. Concrete Chemistry, the number is 713-497-4701. And in response to COVID, they're offering virtual job site walks and virtual project estimates via Google Duo, and they can hook you up in both Houston and Philly. So they're badass. And I still need to get in. I need to talk with Eric because he said he had a deal he wanted to do, especially wanted to do. So we need to get on that. But it's Eric. He's awesome. Their website is concretechemistry.com. We appreciate them for being part of Gist Nation. All right, what's next? That's it for today. Huh? Wow. All right. I'm telling you, everybody's getting ramped up for what could be the football season, what could be the playoffs, baseball, and basketball. Who knows? Although Juan Soto wasn't in the lineup tonight, and I'm afraid that that's more of what you're going to get with baseball, and that's why baseball's in a worse spot than the other sports, because the way it stands right now is they travel. So if you're traveling, I think there's a much greater opportunity for the Rona.
The delays in these tests, they found out this morning he had it. He took the test 2 days ago.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
So there's no way this season, I've said this before, there's no way this baseball season actually finished. We're not even going to get to the 16-team playoffs, so who cares?
You might be right. You may be right on that. So the greatest piece of audio ever, the greatest interview ever was Trump last night, Fox News. We'll play it and respond as we go. So this is Trump, and this is an excerpt from this in which Trump is talking about this cognitive test that he feels puts him head and shoulders above Biden because Biden would fail this test.
Yes, he really wants Biden to take this test.
It's a challenge, and after that, they're going to arm wrestle. And after that, they're going to mud wrestle. And after that, they're going to measure hogs.
So they were saying all these different things. It was going all over. Whichever stuck. None of it stuck, fortunately. But one of the reasons it didn't is that I took a test. I said to the doctor, it was Dr. Ronnie Jackson, I said, is there some kind of a test? An acuity test. And he said there actually is, and he named it, whatever it might be. And it was...
One thing I like is that he doesn't remember the name of this test, yet he remembered everything from the test.
30 or 35 questions. The first questions are very easy. The last questions are much more difficult. Like a memory question, it's like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV. So they say, could you repeat that?
And of course he can, because he's cognitively strong is what he is.
Yep.
So I said, yeah. So it's person, woman, man, camera, TV. Okay, that's very good. If you get it in order, you get extra points.
Well, hell.
Okay, now he's asking you other questions, and then 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes later, they say, remember the first question? Not the first, but the 10th question? Give us that again. Can you do that again? And you go person, woman, man, camera, TV. If you get it in order, you get extra points.
I've heard.
I know. He literally just repeated himself over and over, but it's so fantastic. And I agree with one of the comments in here that said, how is this real life? It is real life. This is where we are.
They said nobody gets it in order. It's actually not that easy, but for me it was easy.
He's like, wait a minute. Nobody plays a memory game. Like, remember with the memory games where, like, you would flip over the card and it would be like some black guy, and then you turn it over and you'd have to flip a couple cards and you have to remember where the black guy is so you can get the match. Was it called memory, or I forget what the name of it?
There was a bunch of different ones. I mean, there was on Super Mario 3, you'd have like the little game where you match cards.
Correct, but there's a name of the actual board game version of it, right? Like, if you were to and it's on like a little red thing, and you flip the cards over, and they're on the, like, what the hell is the name of that game? Is it Memory? I think that's the name of the game. That's basically this Dr. Ronnie Jackson, okay? Dr. Ronnie Jackson just basically had Trump play a game of memory, and that confirms that he is stronger mentally than all of us.
And that's not an easy question. In other words, they ask it to you, they give you 5 names, and you have to repeat them, and that's okay.
I get it.
And that's
if you
okay.
repeat them out of order, it's okay, but you know, it's not as good. But then when you go back about 20, 25 minutes later, and they say, go back to that question. They don't tell you this. Go back to that question and repeat them. Can you do it? And you go, person, woman, man, camera, TV. They say, that's amazing. How did you do that? I do it because I have, like, a good memory, because I'm cognitively there. Now, Joe should take that test, because something's going on, and I say this with respect. I mean,
with all due respect, he's got something going on. The other day, I believe he said he's brain dead, or he
doesn't know he's alive.
He doesn't know he's alive. Like, and I see people in the chat saying, "Well, here's the thing, Trump. Trump's a great troll." This is not a troll. Like basically, when Trump does dumb shit, Trump people like to come back and say, "Look, he's just fucking with everybody." Yeah, sometimes he is. Other times he's not, okay? This is not fucking with somebody here.
The explanation of this test and this question is a Brock Osweiler response at a press conference.
Absolutely,
like, you could have explained how this memory thing worked in 2 seconds. Instead, you told us 3 times that if you get them in order, you get bonus points.
Ultimately, to get into the playoffs, one way to do that is to win your division. And Coach has done a great job of explaining that to us.
It's the same.
it's going to probably happen to all of us, right? It's going to happen. But we can't take a chance of it happening. When you're dealing with Russia, and there's nobody been tougher to Russia than me, nobody been tougher to China than me, I can tell you right now, they would love to see Joe Biden instead of Trump. We've taken in billions and billions, tens of billions of dollars from China, which they never gave us anything. They had the worst year before the plague came in. They had the worst year just about in their history, 67 years.
See, here's the thing. Here's where I disagree. Like, people like Joe who are saying, this is a long play, Trump is flexing. Like, bless your heart, you guys are full of shit. You really are. Like, I understand that you vote for Trump and Trump's your guy. Like, I don't vote for anybody. I don't judge you based on who you vote for. Vote for whoever the hell you want to. This, I guess, is your way of trying to make yourself feel better about the fact that Trump just seems like a fucking buffoon so many times, right? In this case, this is not a flex. This is some guy who feels somehow that he has to spend 8 minutes in the middle. He has to spend an interview that I believe the whole thing was like 7 or 8 minutes. That's an excerpt from it. But he spends 7 or 8 minutes explaining some very basic, generic freaking test, okay?
Well, I think we need to know for these debates, if they happen, all we have to do is give these guys this cognitive test.
Yeah, there you go. I will buy it if Joe Biden does not pass this test. If Biden fails the test, then I'm with you, okay?
It was the worst year they had in 67 years, before the plague. And we were doing great. We had the best economy. But we have to have somebody that's sharp. If this person isn't sharp, because I can tell you, President Xi is sharp. President Putin is sharp. Erdogan is sharp. You don't have any non-sharp people that you're dealing with. And
I believe that would be called dull people.
we can't have somebody that's not 100%. So what I did is when it's a public test, and he said, if you take this test, we may have to reveal it. I said, it's all right. I mean, is it tough? Tell me about it. I'd never heard of it. And I got a perfect mark. And the doctors were They said very few people can do that. Very few people get that. You understand? It's not that easy. There were other questions tougher than what I just did. But it's not that easy. But as soon as they announced my score and that test, all the stuff went away about me. Is he competent? Remember, they're talking about 25th Amendment and nonsense. And they said, wow. And even the enemies, they don't say that anymore. But they do say it about Joe Biden. And honestly, he should take the test. In a way, he has an obligation to, because...
In a way, he has an obligation to take this seemingly very basic test in which you have to remember 5 things and don't necessarily have to remember them in order.
Josh, there were tougher questions than that one that he just did.
This was just an example. Well, then tell me the tougher questions. I want to know those.
You have to be able to show this country that the person that we're picking as leader is sharp, because we're dealing with people that want to do very bad things to us if they had the chance. And you have to be sharper than them. So in a certain way, Joe Biden has an obligation to take a test like that one or something else.
Also, I enjoy how, like, the guy interviewing him never really says anything and throughout that, like, 4-minute stretch.
He's like, you know what? I'm with you. I follow you on this one. I totally agree.
Going. You know what I mean? Like, the memory.
By the way, I think Biden is a boob. I want to be very clear. I don't think Trump is too far off from a boob, but I think Biden, has legitimate cognitive issues.
Do you
He's a
think
mess.
he could remember person, woman, man, camera, TV?
Person, woman, man, camera, TV. They say, that's amazing. How did you do that? I do it because I have, like, a good memory, because I'm cognitively there.
I mean, how do you not laugh at this? It's spectacular. Everything about this is spectacular.
I would like to, like, get in touch with this doctor and be like, how, like, really? You were that impressed that this guy remembered 5 words? Like, does that really happen where nobody else does this?
I mean, like, literally, like,
that's amazing.
Let me tell you something. I got this. They said, that's amazing. They said, wow, Trump, you're cognitively there. I just love how he goes, like, my favorite part of that stretch after he does it, he goes, now, why do I know this? Well, because, I thought he was going to say because I'm brilliant. He goes, no, because, I'm cognitively there.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV. They say, that's amazing. How did you do that? I do it because I have, like, a good memory, because I'm cognitively there.
I seriously doubt, unless they were just paid off doctors, that Dr. what was his name, Jackson, just goes, how did you do that?
That's amazing.
Like, that's the, you know when someone asks you, how do you do that? That's usually like in a Disney movie where Henry Rowan Gardner throws at 150 miles an hour and someone goes, how did you do that?
Yeah.
That's not the answer to, I know these 5 words in order.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
I would guess if someone gets a very basic thing like that.
Also, do we know those were the actual words on the test, or he just, like, rehearsed that?
It very well could have been.
There's no way he remembered the same 5 words from this test he took, like, 2 years ago.
Maybe he did.
I mean, I know.
Listen, he's cognitively there. He's cognitively there, Jelly. He's cognitively there.
They said nobody gets it in order. It's actually not that easy, but for me, it was easy.
I kind of wish he would have messed it up.
And that's what I was waiting for, but I feel if he would have messed it up, they wouldn't have aired it. I think he would have been like, okay.
Cut.
No, thank you.
And the doctors they said very few people can do that. Very few people get that. You understand? It's not that easy. There were other questions tougher than what I just did. But it's not that easy.
Again, for this debate, whoever's moderating, like, a certain round has got to do, like, a memory game with these two. I need to see it.
Well, you know what? That may be neat.
There's an obligation, as Trump said.
Let's have an academic decathlon.
Let's have a cognitive decathlon and see what happens.
Would McDougal pass the test? No. McDougal would not pass this test unless it was hoagie, dog,
birds
again,
Utley,
birds. If he got those 5 words, then I think he would do it, because I think that's the only 5 words that McDougal actually knows.
I don't think he'd do them in order, but...
it depends. So what were the 5? Now I forgot them. Now, I'm not cognitively there. I had encephalitis. I am not capable of being the president. Hoagie. Doc. Birds. What was the other one? Birds. Utley.
Utley and birds again.
Birds again. It has to be birds again. That is the answer. Hell no, McDougal ain't getting. Like, do you ever look at McDougal and go, yeah, he's cognitively there?
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Years later, we're going to learn that Trump is like Doc Ellis, high on spray tan for the entire 4 years. There'll be a whole documentary about it. Let's see. That's the content I'm here for. You bet your ass that's the content you're here for. I want to see McDougal do this cognitive test. He would get so pissed off, and he would call the test either a racial slur or an anti-gay slur and leave, is what he would say.
Go Birds.
Like, he seems like the kind that, like, the argument is that the SAT and ACT is culturally biased.
Right.
Right? I think that McDougal would take the ACT and then just use it like he would be the guy that gets up and says, fuck this is culturally biased, right? Right? This ain't Philly. These questions ain't Philly.
And these are for Cowboys fans.
Let me ask you a question. The test right here, you know what it says? It says rope sells for 10 cents a foot. There's 6 feet of rope. How much am I paying for 6 feet? How many dollars? Hey, you know what? You know who uses a rope? A cowboy. You know what cows are? Cowboys are queers, okay? I don't know that shit. This is culturally biased towards America's team, the Cowboys. We hate you. I'm out of here. I'm not taking the ACT. I don't need to go to college anyway. My uncle down there in the shunk, he's a plumber anyway. He's got a job waiting for me, okay? That would be what would happen if McDougal took the ACT. If McDougal took, we just need to come up with a bit which is just if McDougal blank. If McDougal took the ACT, he's offended because there's a question about rope. Now, he would understand it if the rope were about, involving hurting someone with the rope. But if it's just rope, he's assuming that rope is used by cowboys, and cowboys are homos. So he can't comprehend that.
And I feel like we do if McDougal did blank every day in our life.
I think so. That's basically what our life is.
They won't even let you talk about homos on Facebook.
McDougal's like, yep. Or Cowboys fan is code for homo. Or homo is code. Everybody likes to talk about code, right? Like, well, thug is code for the N-word. Or Karen, which I also agree with. Karen is, some sort of way of being able to be racist towards white women. But, like, for McDougal, homo is like cowboy is code for homo. Homo is code for cowboy, I think.
They won't even let you talk about homos on Facebook.
People enjoy your sporty look tonight, Jilly. The Southside Jilly sporty look is fire.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't even notice you were wearing your Southside shirt. Ready for baseball. Hey, maybe we should place some money on our favorite teams just to win because, like, your team is somewhere, I think, in like the plus 1,000 something. Mine's like plus 2,500.
Maybe we should.
And everybody makes the damn playoffs at this point in baseball, so who the hell cares? We'll do it all. Let's see. If McDougal was president, wait, that's Trump.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Well, that's not too far off either because Trump is a hothead. Trump's just looking to fight with people all the time. Trump likes to brag about how smart he is. What does McDougal like to do? McDougal likes to tell you how smart of a sports fan he is. McDougal likes to boast about his memory of his favorite Eagles. Trump likes to boast about his cognitive abilities.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Lucy.
Well, what happened, Luther? You snorfing over there? I'll take Luther to the chiropractor tomorrow. Let's see. Love Coach Dave drops. My all-time favorite. Well, I'm glad you enjoy Coach Dave drops.
I'm not a bigot, but I'm allowed to be one.
We need to go. I told you, I found like that one that just gives you like the quick clips of them, and we just need to get some of those.
Well, maybe on Saturday or whenever, when next time we're drinking, or maybe Sunday afternoon, I'll sit around and just get Coach Dave drops. I've got unlimited soundboards here, so I can have all the sound I want.
Yeah.
What's the score of this baseball game? Have they hit the over yet? Because I'm going to be really ticked off when they inevitably hit the over, and I didn't get my deposit in time to bet over 7.5. But maybe the runs have stopped. Maybe they settled in.
It's 4-1.
4-1?
End of the 5th.
Okay, so I would need 3 more runs. I feel good about that. So I feel like I really missed that opportunity.
Now, the soccer game you were considering, just as a joke almost, the Dynamo have already scored 18 minutes in.
Okay, so the over-under in that one was 3. So I thought about it. But again, here's what we got to do, though. As we discussed, we have to have a log, and we need to mark down every game we've bet and how much we bet. Like, we start with $200, right? So do we have a notebook downstairs anywhere? Or do you just have to use that?
Yeah, there's one up downstairs.
So we'll use one downstairs. So the way we start is we're at $200. That's where we're starting. And we'll see how long until we're at 0. Now, do we want to hit a certain number where we're going to take money out? Like if we get up to 1,000, do we take 500 out?
Yes.
Okay, so
because that's where you got in trouble.
Okay, so you're okay. So let's say we get to 1,000, we take out 5, but 1,000 is the benchmark.
Yes.
So every time we get up to $1,000, we take out $500.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know how to get money from my bookie yet? Have you figured that out? That's very important.
Not yet, but I'm sure I'll manage. I'll figure out how to do it once there's actually money to take out.
Okay.
9.5 for the Dodgers game. Thoughts on that bet? We were considering that. I mean, Kershaw's out, right? So, and I feel like offenses are going to have the advantage early over the pitching this part of the season, right? Because hitting's hitting, but pitching, there's a lot more that goes into it. And this is such a weird, screwy thing, and you got a guy making his first career start. But when a guy's making his first career start, that's kind of when they want you to go, and he's a late scratch, or Kershaw was a late scratch. So they want you to jump in and go, 9.5, this is going to be all day. And then the guy's going to go, and they've never seen him before, and he goes 6 innings of one-run baseball, and you're screwed. That's what we would be doing. Jilly, you should have the password to Josh's gambling account. That way he can't secretly gamble $3,000 on Korean basketball. It doesn't really work that way because I use my phone for everything, and it saves all of them, and it's already saved in there.
And also, the one time you had me change it, you just started a new account.
Yeah. I had problems at one point.
I think that's fair to say.
But bet Kershaw as long as the game is meaningless. Well, Kershaw's out today, but yes, as long as he's not facing the St. Louis Cardinals in the postseason, Kershaw got lit the hell up. Think about Kershaw. When people talk about Kershaw and how great Kershaw is, keep in mind that he started that game, I believe that game 5, that epic game 5 against the Astros.
The Astros, yep.
And he was spotted, I believe, 4 runs in the first inning.
I believe so.
I think it was 3-0 in the first inning, or 3 or 4-0 in the first inning of that game. I was really hammered by the time the game started, so I don't remember a ton.
Well, that was Keuchel, right? Doing Keuchel stuff in the first inning. Yeah.
Correct. So it was dreadful. But I believe that he was given a lead in that game early, like 3-0, and now you know the history. Let's see. Kershaw needs to come home to Texas. No, he doesn't, because Kershaw's constantly hurt now, and he's just he ain't worth any of that money, man. That's stupid. I love you, Pinche Pancho Villa, but that's dumb. Let's see. Did you watch that Mike Francesa clip I sent? I didn't, Joe. I did just read about an hour before we came on that Francesa is retiring again.
Oh,
from WFAN.
Like Antonio Brown.
Really, it is. He's like Brett Favre. The guy retires and unretires all the time. Let's see. So what is it? Mike Francesa. Let's see what this is. See if I can find that audio anywhere. Breaking. I like how WFAN posts a breaking news story about how their guy is retiring. I don't know that that's a breaking news story. Let's see. What was the audio? I'm trying to get to my is it something about how he's retiring? Tomorrow night will be my last regularly scheduled broadcast on the Fan. Does that mean there's an opening at WFAN? No, because Mike Francesa was working basically 1 hour a day. So no, there is not an opening at WFAN. I can assure you of that.
Darn.
But you know who might pop in there for that and then eventually move into something else might be Carton. Because maybe this is paving the way for Carton to come back.
That would make sense.
Which inevitably he is going to come back. There's no question about that. Let's see here. Is that the audio we're talking about, Joe? I'm trying to get to my Facebook here, but if it's on... Let's see. I'll just go to my damn Facebook. Facebook acts up whenever I do it on the computer. Let's see here. But that's the only place that Joe and I can communicate because I refuse to unmute him. But one day, if I ever actually do, then if I ever do actually unmute him, it'll be the day that really makes his life, I think. And that's why I want to keep him hungry. That's the key, man. You can't just let people have everything. You got to keep them hungry. And that's Joe. Let's see here. Where's this damn video you sent me, Joe? I don't see it. Let's see here. Hold on. I do not see this Francesa video unless I missed it from earlier. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Funhouse. Status. All right, here we go. I found it now. You're welcome, Joe. Mike Francesa thinks it would be fun to put cardboard cutouts behind home plate, which feature shitty ex-Yankees that nobody under the age of 70 would know. All right, let's see.
Even for charity, I don't like the cutouts at all. What I would do is I would make it a contest. Here's what I would do. I would have, if it were my team, in all those rows, I would put pictures of players who played on the team through the years, no names, and have contests where, at a given time, we'll put the guy's picture up, and some of these guys, remember, they're not all going to be Mickey Mantle. They're going to be some obscure guys there. You're going to see Rich McKinney. You're going to see
no idea who
Salamino Sanchez.
Don't know that.
You're going to see guys who are on the team. Dooley Womack.
I have no idea who that is.
And put each guy's picture for whatever team it is. Now, the Yankees are a little different because they're a little more famous, but any team.
I have no idea who any of those guys were.
That's what I would fill in with. I put all the pictures of ex-players in there, and then have contests during the game where you take, here you go, name this play. You can put it on social media and have some fun with it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. He sounds old. I mean, I know he's not that old, probably in his 60s, right? But he sounds old. That's about as old as Mike Francesa has sounded. Now, his references make him sound a lot older, but that's the oldest that I can recall hearing him sound. He did bring up the stuff about the fake fans and the cardboard cutouts. I didn't realize that was for charity when I was ripping it earlier today, but I still wouldn't invest $100 in that. I don't think.
Well, you'd have to be guaranteed a good spot. Like, I don't want mine out in the outfield and paying $100. I mean, I know it's for charity.
I want people to see it. I want people to see this.
Like, if you can put your cardboard cutout of you wearing, like, the Gist T-shirt, then okay.
Right behind. Now that's an idea, right? Put that right behind home plate. Does that cost more? Do I have to spend $500 for that to be right behind home plate? Because if so, I'm in. Now, would it be there for every game, or is it a one-game deal?
Good question.
Now, if they really want to rip people off, you pay $100 and you put it behind home plate, and you only get that for one game, though. So if you want to do it, say they play 30 home games or whatever the number is, you end up spending $3,000 to have your stupid cardboard cutout there for every game. Oh, the game's in a rain delay, huh? Well, 4-1 in a rain delay.
Boy, baseball.
Like. Off to a good start.
We're really
I hope
crushing
those fans there seek shelter. I hope there's no lightning or anything in the area.
We got a positive Rona test hours before the game, and now a rain delay.
Yep, not a great start. Not a fantastic start. Not an amazing start for baseball. I think we can all concur that this is not the ideal scenario for baseball today, with a Rona test for a very good player, too, not just some slapdick, a very good player that people like to watch play.
Yep.
I'm sure people are enjoying the fact that that Garrett Cole, though, gave up a home run. I see that he was trending when I was on Twitter there a second ago, but it seems as though he's kind of settled down. I'm not watching, but I get that. I'm trying to understand fans better. You know what I'm saying? Because I try to look at it from the standpoint of, how would you feel if you were in that situation, Josh? I'm trying to understand people a little bit more.
Well, I just feel like when people say things like, I saw a couple people post this earlier. It was like, I can't believe Cole left us for the Yankees. No, he didn't leave you for the Yankees. He left you for the money.
Correct. But I try to
you wouldn't.
Yeah, of course. I like how people act like that they're so loyal to Houston that they'd stay for less. Well, when someone's giving you $400, you're going to be like, all right, I'm gone. But I try to think of what I would feel like if that were my team, and I try to find examples of people I hate that were on my team and now play somewhere else or did. I don't know. I never found myself in that. Like, I didn't hate Albert after Albert left, but Albert was also in St. Louis for 10 years. Garrett Cole was a hired gun. See, that's the other thing. Like, Garrett Cole was never really yours. Garrett Cole was brought in via trade, and he was a hired gun. Verlander is never really yours.
But what about Marwin Gonzalez?
Marwin Gonzalez was at least actually theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying, like, to me, it hurts more when someone's been there for X amount of time and you feel like they're part of your team and you're committed to them.
Like, if
Garrett Cole was there a
Altuve,
season and a half.
If Altuve would roll out,
yes,
then
and not by
a
trade either. If Altuve just would have decided, screw you guys, I'm going somewhere else for more money, that would hurt. But, and Pujols did that, and at the time, I didn't mind because I don't think Pujols was that good. He had his first season under 300.
Well, and the Lord told him to do it. So.
That was the part I hated, and you know that's the damn part I hated. You know that he and his dopey wife saying that God told him to go. No, the damn Benjamins told you to go there. But it'd be like let's say, we got Philly people, like if a Chase Utley in the middle of his run would have gone somewhere else for more money, you'd hate that guy. Well, no, the great example is, what's his name? Jason Worth. You know, Jason Worth, that was a big part of that lineup. Jason Worth leaves. Although Worth wasn't a lifer with the Phillies prior to that, right? Where was Worth before the Phillies? Unless I'm off. But but Worth left and they hated him because he took the money. There are different examples of like different scenarios in which people will react differently. Garrett Cole took a lot of money, right? So in the case, like, I don't blame you for hating Garrett Cole for taking money, but it's not heartbreaking because Garrett Cole isn't really an Astro.
And that's,
Garrett Cole, I don't even think Garrett Cole won a World Series with the Astros.
He didn't.
So,
but that's the interesting thing is, like, these people don't hate Garrett Cole. They're just like, I'm so sad he left. I don't hate him. Why'd he leave us?
Yeah, that, like, you sound pathetic. Screw off. Like, stop trying to make it about you. Like, I would rather you hate somebody than feel sorry for yourself that that person left and try to make it an affront towards you. You know, like Garrett Cole, and Trevor brings up that Garrett Cole was drafted by the Pirates. Garrett Cole leaving the Pirates, he had playoff success with the Pirates. He was a runner-up for the Cy Young with the Pirates. So, like, him leaving, but that was via trade, and the team was a mess. I think that the way the team is also
Verlander leaving Detroit. He was there forever.
Correct, but it made sense for Verlander because they were dead. Like, there's so many, like, Carlos Beltran leaving Houston's a different thing because the Astros were still good. But he was a hired gun. He was there for half a year.
But I get, like, Detroit being emotional about Verlander leaving.
Yes, and I understand him being emotional. You can be upset about
that. Yes, you can't be. I don't think you can be angry at the dude. But like,
and I don't think they could be either because fans understand it. Just like when the Phillies were tearing everything down, when Utley and Cole Hamels and everybody else, and then left, and I get it. That all makes sense. But Cole's a different case because he's still in his prime. I understand getting mad at Cole for leaving and going to the Yankees and going to the enemy, going to the team that you played in the playoffs and you consider a rival right now. I understand all that and I get all that. I don't understand the why doesn't he want to be with us angle. That's lame as hell.
Yeah, I don't think his long-term plan was ever to stay in Houston.
But remember, like I said, what about when the Dream left? That's different. That's at the end of his career. The team isn't making any run anymore. They tried with Barkley. It didn't work. The Dream wants to play another year or two. He goes to Toronto. That's different. But, like, I'm talking about guys like Pujols is a rare case where a guy who's seemingly still at a high level of a player leaves after a decade as maybe the greatest player in the franchise's history, right? He's probably the second best behind Musial. So, that's different. And so that doesn't happen all that often. Very rarely does that happen. Because you have a player that's that transcendent, especially if it's an offensive player, not a pitcher, you'll end up getting your team's probably going to be pretty damn good whenever in the middle of your lineup you got a guy who's a 300 at that point in his career was a 330 career hitter, But I don't really. There you go, LeBron leaving the Cavs. That's an example of one. A guy that had been there for most of his career and all of his career to that point. He's from there. That's one of those type of things. Like, I understand the angst towards Cole, and I understand wanting you thinking and wanting Cole to suck. I don't blame you.
But the sadness.
And it's also the way it ended with Cole, because Cole was wearing the hat of his agency in the game, and then he's full of shit, by the way. I don't buy it for a second when Cole says that he wanted to go back into the game and they didn't put him in. I've heard it from people that Cole did not want to go back into the game. It was a business decision.
Reliable people.
Pretty trustworthy people on this. That Cole did not want to go back into the World Series game. So everybody was pissed at Hinch, who, by the way, is a shitty manager. But everybody was pissed at Hinch. And it was, why didn't you use Garrett Cole why didn't you go to Cole instead of going with a dude who was beat up and had arm issues in Will Harris?
Or the root of the problem, why'd you pull Greinke?
Correct. But in that case, assume you're going to pull Greinke, why didn't you go to Garrett Cole? Because Garrett Cole didn't want to pitch. And then he played the role in the media of, I wanted to pitch and they didn't use me. He's full of shit. And I heard that from a pretty reliable person on this.
Yep.
That Cole did not want to pitch. It was a business decision. What was better for him? Going out there on short rest out of the bullpen and possibly blowing his arm out or getting blown up and costing them the World Series? Or just sitting this one out, pretending like the manager didn't want to use him and rolling the manager up under the bus to be the fall guy and then getting your big contract with the Yankees. That's what happened in that situation. And I have that on very good authority, and I completely believe the person who told me that Cole did not want to pitch. He did not want to pitch in Game 7, did not want to come back on short rest, even for an inning. That's why after AJ made the boneheaded decision of taking out Zach Greinke, that he decided to go with Will Harris, who was injured at the time, and that cost them the World Series. So really, if you want even more reason to hate Cole, remind me to talk about this on the Houston show tomorrow.
That's
I think
a good
people
one.
would find this interesting. If you need even more reason to hate Garrett Cole, there you go.
Because you haven't been on the radio since you learned that fun fact about Cole.
Correct. from a pretty reliable, pretty good source on that.
Yeah, I guess it's
And
a
I don't
fun
have-
alleged fact.
Yes,
Sorry.
and I see people joking, saying Josh has sources. No, I just happen to know a few people, and a few people have some.
His name's
information.
Ryan Fieldman, okay?
Yeah, Ryan Fieldman has the answer. Don't you clowns forget that Ryan Fieldman is everyone's dada. All right, let me see. I'm going to say goodbye to the podcast audience here. Podcast audience, goodbye. Podcast audience is out.
How does it still feel like 99 outside right now?
Because this is
stupid.
the devil's rectum.
Luther, how are you
we-
going to go walk?
We are in the devil's rectum. Well, guys, it is that time of the night to get the Bits Blitz going here. So if you guys feel like doing a little Bits Blitz tonight and having a good time and putting a few bucks in the coffer, you can do that. Saturday night, we're having a big party, right? I don't know what the theme of the party is yet or who's going to join us. Who can join the party that would get us the most bits?
Did you see Mark Vandermeer interviewed Rich Lord today?
Now everybody want to do my shit. Everybody want to be me.
But you had the first interview with Rich.
I had the first 2 interviews with Rich. I rule. Tiger John. Well, Tiger John's on the show every day. Let's see here.
Also, we did learn that Matt does have
Yes, he's supposed to email it to me. Matt Moscona has the Coach O audio.
the tortoise in the hair.
Let's see.
He needs to hurry up and get that. I need that for Saturday to really get my Saturday night party going.
Let's see here. These are suggestions. Ryan Terrio, Lance Berkman, Sparky. I think Sparky might be busy on Saturday. I think. I don't know what time they play on Saturday, but I think he's busy.
A baseball guest would be fun, though.
Yeah. Or just someone to shoot the shit with.
Yep. Lenny.
Yeah. So,
LOL.
here's Nails. Nails joins us. What did we
they play at 3:10 on Saturday.
So he might be available. So, what did we open the show talking about?
Fauci.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. We'll call this one Fauci's Red Bull first. Josh Ennis and Jilly discuss.
By the way, they're delayed in the top of the 6th, but there are runners on 1st and 3rd.
How many outs, though?
1.
Oh, so there's a chance just a fly ball gets a run in.
So your over would have.
My over's in fine shape, but I didn't play. Terrio would be fun. He's been on your Houston show. Well, I know that.
He has?
Thank you, Trevor, for the 2. Trevor, thank you for that insight. Thank you.
No way.
Let's see. Josh Ennis and Jilly discuss Dr. Fauci's woeful. How do you spell woeful? Is it W-O-E-F-U-L?
I think that sounds right.
Woeful attempt at a first pitch prior to the Nats. That would be who are they playing? Nats
Yankees
game. The Nats Yankees game. How is it possible that a grown-ass man can throw a baseball so poorly? Let's see here. The 97.5 Houston show, Jelly. Well, of course, we know that.
I'm aware.
Yes. Tony Schiavone. Maybe. Meltzer. Can you guys make up? Meltzer doesn't get airtime with me. Let's see here. Will Trump's first pitch be better? Okay, then we follow that up with what? Where did we go after that? Trump. Speaking of Trump, the president, Prez, gave us a real treat last night on Fox News. Josh and Billy play what Josh considers to be the best Trump interview of all time.
I can barely hear you. You're muttering.
Oh, sorry. I did not mean to mutter. I apologize. All right. Well, thank you for the bits, Trevor, from the 203, 1,000 bits. Then Pelly Rat puts 1,000. Well, hell, now they've elevated the game for everybody. Where are you guys at? Throw your bits in. It's a party. Thank you, Pelly Rat. What did we follow the Trump interview stuff with? Just baseball talk?
Baseball.
What did we talk about baseball?
Garrett Cole, Astros fan.
Yep.
If you've already forgot that, there's no way you're going to remember this to talk about tomorrow.
I know. So I'm going to need you to text me, but at a different time. How do you spell Garrett? Gerritt or just one T?
I believe it's RR, but I used to know one T.
Right.
2 R's, 1 T.
There we go. Now sports. Houston. Philly. I think we had a good, solid program tonight. I think this was a special show. This was a show that was a non-stop thrill ride. I think. How do you throw bits? Can someone tell my friend how to put bits up, please? Because that's money in my pocket. I wish I knew how. I don't, but my friends here in the chat do. Let's see. Let's hit publish on that. Gotta remember that Garrett Cole anecdote. Don't know how true it is, but I had it from a pretty good source, so I'm going to ride with it. Who cares? Everybody in the news lies. Yeah, everybody in the news lies anyway. Why not? Why don't I join the party? The Lie Express.
Remember the health secretary of Pennsylvania, Rachel Levine, who's the trans person, this person?
Oh, that lady, yeah.
Remember?
Looks like Sammy Hagar ate a hobbit.
Well, evidently, a fair in Bloomsburg, Columbia County, Pennsylvania, included a dunk tank attraction whose target was someone impersonating Dr. Rachel Levine.
Oh, was that like transist?
Yes, the governor says it's transphobic.
Oh.
Do you ever think they're just throwing it at her because they hate the Rona restrictions and the state's trying to tell people what a meal is?
Well, that would make too much sense.
I don't think, honestly, that it's transphobic. I think they just hate...
Oh, it's not transphobic, but it's just easy to say things are transphobic.
A transphobic incident at the Bloomsburg Fair.
Like, that's so absurd. Well,
Tom
maybe it's
Wolf
because they were throwing balls
pleased.
at her mouth. Maybe that's why it was transphobic.
Here's the real question. Was the impersonator also a transgender person?
Because if not, that is also offensive.
Then that's problematic.
That makes it even worse.
You got to play the roles if you're, right?
Correct. So here's the deal, fellas. Coming up on Saturday, we're going to have a hell of a time, so get your bits ready for that. And feel free to weigh in via text, or I say text. You can text the burner phone. I forgot you can technically do that. Has anybody texted the burner phone lately? Do we have any texts?
I don't think you give out the number enough.
I don't. But let's see. 8:30. It says, Josh, Seth just mentioned you and Jim with the crane bit. Says it was a great bit, well planned out. Okay.
Look at that.
Thanks. Well, I mean, how could you not? It was a brilliant bit.
And now they're doing it in what was that, Poland? Where was that?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. We did some brilliant shit that just nobody appreciated. If people would have appreciated our brilliance, maybe we'd still be on 790. Probably not. Whatever. Any hoodles.